Epoch Times. What is your name?
Echo.
Say again?
Echo. ECHO.
Really?
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I know that name well. I run a social dance academy for young people, and we meet in the Glen Echo Community Hall in Everson, Washington.
For your community? So, do you know do you know any organizer that I can contact? Probably will do the interview with them.
I don't know, and that's.
But you are one of them, right?
Well, no, I just showed up to do video. I video conservative events and rallies,
Okay.
and I heard about the event. I came last week, and I came to this event as well, and it is a great privilege that they allowed me to speak a little bit too, and so yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I guess you don't have time for taking the interview, right? Because you're.
Well, you can interview me, and I'll film and you interview.
And can I have your contact information just in case later?
Yes.
We'll do the more detailed.
Yes, and I'll go to my sound system and I'll give you a little tag too that has my YouTube channel.
Okay,
But for the present time, and you're recording right now?
No. My.
Oh, your crew is over there? Okay, so you're just coming to get me.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's go. So.
Wow,
So you guys are getting interviewed while.
you interview us?
Yeah.
Videotape us.
他也是采访的吗？
他是录像的。
Oh,
I was UW Graduate School Communication Department.
One moment, please. I learned from last time filming in the rain.
所以他也在拍这个太好玩了。
It's difficult to do many jobs at once, especially with a camera. Oh, yes.
Videotaping us
Okay.
all the time.
All right.
Thank you, Chinese Americans, Asian Americans. You're going to help us keep the republic. We got Epoch Times is the only legitimate news source, and the reason they're legitimate is because they know what the story is all about. They know they recognize it. My position is such. I work in government on the record right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I just wanted to express my appreciation.
Thank you.
Okay. So.
Are you videotaping?
Yes.
Just a fun experience. Right. Okay. 他那个头上再留点那个对。可以吗？开始吗？
Okay.
Can I have your name, please?
My name is Wylin Tjoelker.
How would you spell that?
Wylin, and Tjoelker is Tjoelker.
And may I ask for your profession, please?
I run a social dance academy for young people. It's a Christian social dance academy. And I'm retired, but I do that in my spare time. It's a passion.
I see you videotaping and giving a speech just now. Why are you here?
I am here for the same reason that all these people are here. Because in our hearts, God has placed love for this country, for these people. Not just for President Trump. He's just our voice. He has come to be our voice. He supports us. We support him. He's had our back. We have his back. And we will defend him. As he has defended us, he has defended our nation. It's not terribly complicated. That's about it. Yes.
So what do you think the American is going through now?
Well, I will tell you this. I've been involved in politics in a supporting role, helping to get out the vote, and doorbelling and phone calling and talking to people, putting up campaign signs and all sorts of things like that since 1996. And I have never seen such an outpouring of activity on the part of regular American citizens, not political people. These people were not sent here by the Republican Party. This was not organized by the Republican Party. All these groups, and there are a plethora of groups here, they are all organized by individual citizens of their own volition. This is unusual in politics in our lifetime. This is a truly huge event, a truly huge phenomenon, and it is only growing. So that is very significant, and people should wake up to that very important reality. We are in very, very unusual times, and I would say very good times, because these people all have passion for their country, and I believe that God is the one who put the love for country and for their neighbors, even for their enemies, in their hearts. Because, you know, God tells us to love our neighbors, okay? You love your neighbors by making sure they have good government. God also told us to love our enemies. You love your enemies by protecting your enemies from the very tyranny that they would impose upon the nation. If you remember, in the Soviet Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, this revolution was supported by the intellectuals, by the college professors. After the revolution, the Bolsheviks executed those intellectuals, those college professors, because they considered them to be a threat to the new regime, because they were thought leaders. Okay? If you lived at that time, you would oppose the communist revolution, and you would be benefiting, you would be loving your neighbor, these college professors that supported that revolution, very unwisely. But if you had been successful, you would have saved their lives. So we love our neighbors, our countrymen. We also love even our enemies. And this love is in our hearts from God. This is not of mere human origin. By nature, we people are self-centered and self-protective. We do not come out of our shell and put ourselves at risk. We don't do this. By nature, we only seek to protect ourselves and only seek our own interests. What moves then these people to take the risks? Because, you know, Antifa does show up, and Antifa does attack people. They attacked 2 of our young ladies last week, and a young man. Okay, there is risk. What moves these people to brave those risks and brave those fears? It's love. It's love. Love that comes from God. Love of country, love of neighbor, even love of enemy. A love of freedom. Freedom is from God. Freedom was given to us by Jesus Christ. That is where freedom comes from. Most people don't think about that, but it's true. Human freedom comes from Jesus Christ. And human freedom must be defended, for we live in a fallen world. Our founding fathers of this nation realized that. It must be defended. That is why our founding fathers in the American Revolution, that's why they fought that war. That was a defensive war, not really a revolution. They were defending the rights that God had given them. That is why in their Declaration of Independence they say that our rights come from God, that, what is the words? I know them by heart, but you know how it happens.
It's okay.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that governments are instituted among men to preserve these rights, not to establish them. Governments don't give us rights. Rights come from God. That is why they must be defended. And like Ronald Reagan said, each new generation must defend these rights.
Well said. And what do you think we should do?
Number 1, appeal to God. One of the flags in the American Revolution, it had a white field with a pine tree, a green pine tree, and the words appeal to heaven, and appeal to heaven. That was the flag, one of the flags in the American Revolution. It was commissioned by George Washington himself, that flag. And it was to direct the people to appeal to God. Appeal to God. God is a gentle, loving Heavenly Father. He is also powerful. And we appeal to Him. We love God. That is what is to be done. The people must turn. What does he say in the Bible? If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, if they will turn from their wicked ways, then I will look down from heaven. I will heal their land.
And the second?
And
do you know any incidents of the election fraud?
oh yes,
At all?
the election fraud. Well, they're so numerous. More the question is, what form of fraud was not done this time? Because quite frankly, there are so many forms of fraud that are now being discovered. We didn't even know they could do those forms of fraud. So the real question is, what form of fraud did they not do? It would take a long time to catalog all the fraud. We have normal vote fraud, in which people vote for dead relatives because they were sent a mail-in ballot by the cheat by mail system. We have people who are felons who are not allowed to vote, who vote. We have illegal aliens who were encouraged to vote and voted. We have people voting in multiple states. We have people voting more than once. We have people who had many cheat by mail ballots sent to their home, and they filled them all out and sent them back in. We have election participation, which is normally about 66% in some counties, that's turning out to be like 90%. That is statistically impossible. So it would take so long to catalog all the fraud. And that is better done by those who have all those instances in their mind and more fresh in their memory. But those are just a few. And of course the counting machines that are mysteriously changing votes from Trump to Biden. And this has been documented, this has been discovered. And in one race, I believe it was in Wisconsin or Michigan, a Republican wound up winning his race when it was discovered that 6,000 votes were switched from Trump and all the Republicans to Biden.
Okay.
So that's just a few.
To name
Yes.
it. Mhm.
But again, to the question, what is to be done? Turn to God. Appeal to God. God is real. God is not a fairy tale. He is not a figment of our imagination. He is not a social construct. He is not the opiate of the people. He is real. He created this world, and he gave these people freedom, and he redeemed people through the blood of Jesus Christ. He is real. He is real.
And what do you think of the mainstream media?
The mainstream media, some people say that they produce fake news and lie because they're a corporation and they're trying to make money. I do not believe that to be entirely the truth. I think they lie and they make things up because that is what is in their heart. They are biased, they have an agenda, they are political operatives. They are the main political operatives of the Democrat Party. They are socialists and they are trending toward communist. They are an extreme danger. How does one deal with them? Turn your eyes away from them and turn your eyes to reliable, truthful news sources. And I will say that in my personal opinion, one of the best news sources out there right now online on the computer is the Gateway Pundit. The Gateway Pundit. It is the most efficient news source, and they don't have to issue retractions because they get their stories right. The Gateway Pundit. Everyone should be reading this. There is, of course, Newsmax and OAN and Sky News out of Australia. They're very entertaining. There are so many conservative news sources now that are being censored by the tech oligarchs. The censorship in the social media by the tech oligarchs is an extreme danger to freedom. It could very well snuff out all freedom and liberty. The power of propaganda is immense. The greatest power of propaganda is in what they conceal from you, in what they don't tell you. And when they censor, they seek to conceal from the people truth. Truth that doesn't agree with their narrative, with their agenda. The social media oligarchs are a greater danger to this country than any foreign nation. They must be brought to heel. Their Section 230 protections from government must be removed. They must be sued by all those whom they have oppressed and censored.
Yeah,
And in the
exactly.
meantime, people must switch from the tech oligarch media such as Facebook and Twitter and switch to Parler and WeMe and perhaps WeSpeak. That's another one similar to Facebook. You must find alternatives, and you must switch from Fox News, who has betrayed us, to Newsmax. This is my opinion.
You just answered my next question. Like, you know, what do you think about social media censorship?
Yes, the greatest danger to freedom right now, social media censorship. It's even worse than the dominance of the mainstream media with their fake polls. Those polls were not a mistake. They were deliberate. Those polls were designed to suppress the vote of the American people, of the Trump supporters. They were designed to demoralize them. They were also designed to make it much more possible for the Democrats to fundraise, because people will readily contribute large amounts of money to whoever they think is going to win, especially if they think they will get favored government policy from them. Such as big businesses will donate to the person they think is going to win. It was a huge fundraising thing as well. But those fake polls, they were not a mistake. They are not incompetent. They knew full well what they were doing. They deliberately lied to the American people. No one should give any countenance to these fake polls. They should not listen to them. The real poll was how many people showed up at the Trump rallies. Trump had what? 1.2 some million people show up from Labor Day to present at his rallies. How many people showed up at all the Joe Biden rallies? About 800. I believe it was about, no, wait. No, he got some more than that, maybe about 2,000. And they were mostly his own staff in suits sitting in those COVID circles and media people. Those weren't real people. People don't show up in suits to political gatherings. Also, the Trump rallies, between 20 and 40% of the participants at the Trump rallies were registered Democrats. And another as high as 60% were not Republican. They were something other than Republican. That would be Democrat and Independent. This is extremely significant because of the fact that in politics, if you're a Democrat, you don't show up at Republican rallies. Why would you? If there's one place you'll never show up, it's there. Okay? These people came to see Trump because they were impressed with Trump. And they liked Trump. Why would they wait in the rain for an entire day if they hated Trump? That's crazy. Nobody does that. Okay? So that is your real poll. The enthusiasm, the Trump car parades and truck parades with the flags all over the country. All of these rallies, spontaneous rallies, not organized by the Republican Party or by any campaign, but by individual citizens, by patriots, by people who love this country. That is your real poll. That is the poll you should be paying attention to. That is the only poll that matters.
Okay, well said. What is your experience, like watching the election night and see the result the next day?
Well, we quickly began to notice that mysterious things were happening. In states where it was important to get the vote reported quickly, they stopped counting. They claimed a water main broke, which was not the case. But all these swing states with Democrat governments and Democrat vote counting establishments, they all stopped counting very mysteriously. They told the poll watchers to go home. We're going to stop counting now. And then hundreds of thousands of ballots were delivered and counted. And then Trump went from a 900,000 vote lead in Pennsylvania. Very soon he was losing because of these mysterious, I say manufactured ballots. The American people are not fooled. We know what went on. We will not stand for it. That's why these rallies are happening all over the country. Our people are not deceived. We will not go silently into the night. We will not submit to this tyranny. We may not. We fight for every American. We fight for our children. We fight for our grandchildren. We fight for our neighbors. We even fight for our enemies. We fight for freedom all around this world. For if the United States fails, if tyranny is allowed to take hold in the United States, then freedom around the world is lost. The United States is the only country that effectively defends freedom. In fact, virtually every person in this world has what degree of freedom they have, largely due to the sacrifices of our brave soldiers in these wars. We have protected them from fascism, Nazism, communism. They have freedom because of us, because of this country. If this country is taken down, freedom in this entire world is gone, is over. We will not let that happen, because defending freedom and liberty is a sacred trust from Almighty God, and we will not fail. We will not fail in that. It is obedience to God. That is why we protect freedom.
So one last question. Like AOC and some other Democrats suggest retaliation against Trump supporters and remove them from office. And what do you think about that?
Enemies lists. This was done in the Soviet Union. This was done in all the communist countries. This is not new. This shows the true spirit of these people. This is not unity. This is divisiveness. This is evil what they are doing. It does not need to be described. What she is pronouncing is tyranny. She's saying we need to dox those people, give people their address, give everyone their addresses, so that terrorists, domestic terrorists, Antifa, BLM, burn, loot, and murder can show up at their home. And also, we'll pressure their employers to fire them, their companies to fire them. We'll silence them. We will kill them. This is no different than the Nazis burning books and burning people. First they burned books, then they burned people. Do you know the Nazis, when they took over, they didn't start herding the Jews into concentration camps right away. No, first they boycotted their businesses. Yes, what the Democrats do. They then attacked those businesses, threw bricks through their windows, burned them. What Antifa BLM is doing, the same thing that they did to the Jews in Germany, they are doing to honest American citizens, decent American citizens, business owners. This is evil. This is evil. And this evil is from the devil himself. This is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war. Make no mistake. We must resist this tyranny. This is not a time to sit back and protect ourselves. Oh, someone might key my car. Someone might scratch the paint on my car. Maybe someone will break the window of my car. Or maybe someone will call me a bad name. And we cower in fear. That cannot go on. That kind of fear, that kind of cowardice, that kind of self-protectiveness is not worthy of the name American. We must not cower in fear anymore. We must make all sacrifices necessary to defend freedom in this land.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really, really well said. I think probably we're running out of but next time I will get your contact information. I will definitely interview you. Okay?
Yes, I will give you my contact information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the camera was on the whole time.
Yeah. You're deliberately doing that.
Hey, how are you? How's your day going?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
It was a good thing today.
Yes, very good. Very good.
And I hope we can get Lauren Coulter elected again.
That would be fantastic. He's a good man.
And Donald Trump.
Yes, very much so.
I'm Adam. What's your name?
I'm Wylin Tjoelker.
Oh, Wylin Tjoelker. What do you do for a living?
I run a dance club for young people.
Oh, yeah.
Social dancing for Christian young people.
Awesome.
Yes.
What church do you go to?
I go to many churches. I have brethren in many churches, and I go to house churches as well. And I fellowship with many Christian brethren, and I love that.
Just reminding us that Antifa are there. Be careful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Can I get your contact?
Yes. Yes. Well, that was an interesting experience. I've never been interviewed before.
I don't think so.
This is my YouTube channel.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
will give this to you. I will give you more than one in case you lose them, and you can give them to your friends.
Okay. Can I give your email or
Yes.
phone number?
Yes. Okay. So the email address is wylt@hotmail.com.
My phone number or
Yes. 360-988-0404. You from what organization?
Epoch Times.
Epoch Times.
Yeah, NTV.
And what?
NTV TV. It's a sister company.
Of Epoch Times?
Yeah, Epoch Times, yeah.
Oh, I would love if you'd send me information by email about and links so I can check it out. And, yes, that's good. That's good.
It's a conservative news outlet too.
Yeah,
Reliable.
yeah. Yeah, I've never been interviewed before, so now I find out what happens when you're interviewed. And you found out that I can't shut up.
Yeah, it's good. It's great, and really well said. It just don't move while I'm speaking. Don't move that much, but you did a great job. But I will find out and let you know. Okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to do camera and video too. And what are your names?
Jack?
Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your name?
I don't want to.
Oh, okay. All right. You're media people. You don't want to be interviewed. That's funny. Well, Jack, it's great meeting you. And what was your name?
Echo. ECHO.
Echo. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Great privilege to speak with you. And
Yeah. Because for safety issues, they have families still inside China. They don't feel like to be videotaped.
yes, I understand that. I understand that. Yes, the reality of tyranny. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For
It was a great
time.
opportunity to speak to someone who actually wanted to listen. See, I'm not allowed to talk about politics and things at home. You can imagine, my family gets a little tired of it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
contact you.
Thank you. This is fantastic. Oh, this is I collect ties. This is a Rush Limbaugh No Boundaries tie. No Boundaries collection. They made ties for about 2 years. So you get them, it was way back, in the 90s. And you get them on eBay, used. I collect them. This is one of 37 Rush Limbaugh ties. And then I own 6 Vitaliano Campaldis, which is the only 2 ties I wear.
Wow.
Well, you guys stay safe, and God bless you and keep you safe on the roads.
Thank you. We'll do. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're blessed.
Thank you.